My name is Amol Nirgadkar. I'm the CEO of Patient Prism, and we have Judy Kay Mausolf in our studios, and we're delighted to talk to her about building leaders and building a better culture in dental offices across the country. And she's been working with hundreds of offices over the last decade. She's the author of 2 books, one called Tada, Get Happy in 5 Seconds or Less, and Rise and Shine. Both are absolute must-buys for every dental practice. And she's an incredible speaker. So my question to her today is really, leadership we know needs to, we need good leadership in any business, obviously dental practice. And sometimes, we deal with a lot of group practices, and there's many leaders, many dentists out there. Getting everybody on the same page is a difficult task. It's not easy. And so how do you start there? How do you get everybody aligned to the same mental model, for lack of a better word?
That's probably the most difficult part of the entire culture camp, honestly. Okay. And most of that takes place before I even arrive. In working with the team, I send out a survey to the doctors and have a conversation with them about asking them to come together on what would be their 4 core value words.
Sure.
And so there's a lot of back and forth in that, because one might think excellence, another might think caring, another might think service, another might think efficiency. And,
sure.
and so it's really about having them come to an agreement on sure. what their core value words are. And then we take it from there. And I refer to them as the we team, because I think it's really important that that if a team member approaches one doctor and then they approach another doctor, they're getting the same answer.
Absolutely.
So there's consistency. Otherwise, it creates confusion and chaos. When I help practices create their we team, I ask them to have one port of entry, one person that the team members go to. So it's not random. Today I pick this doctor, tomorrow I pick that doctor. And let's be honest, they usually pick the doctor that has is the least resistant to
sure.
what they want to do, right?
Sure, sure.
That's this is the easy one, they'll cave, right? So we want to have one point of entry, one port of entry, and that's the person that everybody on the team goes to ask questions, make suggestions, bring up any concerns. And they take that information then, that it could be a doctor, could be a practice administrator, could be
sure.
a team lead. They take that information then to what I refer to as the we team meeting.
Okay.
And that we team meeting, it's important to happen at least once a week. So
with the doctors in the group.
With the doctors in the group.
Sure.
So and it's not necessarily, a lot of times there's many locations. So it could be just a call-in. It could be a conference call, very easy to do this. But it's discussing then at that we team meeting any patient concerns or celebrations, any team concerns or celebrations, current statistics of the practice, the health, maybe any marketing or promotion things that they're working together, or any special projects that week. So everybody is kept in the loop. And before any one doctor then makes a decision, says yes or no to this, it
sure.
goes to the we team meeting for discussion. That way when they come away from that, they all have the same information and they're aligned. So no matter who that team member asks, they're going to come back with the same information.
Who is in the we team? Is it just the doctors? Can practice administrators be part of that?
Oh, it's very important for the practice administrator to be a part of that as well.
Okay.
Could be practice administrator, could also be, like if you're a larger practice, could be your hygiene team lead, could be your dental
sure.
assistant team lead. They may not be a part of the entire meeting,
sure.
but at least to give feedback for that. And then whatever it is that the doctors come to an agreement, because in the end it's going to be the owner doctors coming to that
sure.
agreement, whatever they come to agreement with, then that is what's the information that's going to be relayed from that from the person that is their point of entry.
But it's important to do this weekly.
Absolutely. Things happen so fast, and let's be honest, we primarily work with a large group of women.
Sure.
Women, and I can speak as one, when something happens, we create a lot of assumptions, and we stack it, we store it. And if we don't resolve it early enough, we build on that and build on it where it becomes a lot of energy and a lot of emotion. So the sooner we address things, the sooner we take care of things, the better we are. The less emotion, the less energy involved.
The argument a lot of business owners make that, oh my God, we're taking away time and it's an expensive meeting to take everybody off because we're all producing and some people are measuring productivity by the hour and now you're taking time off. A lot of people who make a lot of money per hour are coming together. What do you say to that?
Well, if they think that they're going to be able to lead without problems, without having meetings, it's not real. the fallout is you're going to end up putting out a lot of fires, you're going to have a lot of problems afterwards, so your productivity actually goes down.
Sure.
That short amount of time that you're meeting actually sets you up to succeed and produce at a much higher level, perform at a much higher level when you're actually then in the clinic working.
But are you helping the We team also kind of keep the agenda tight enough so that you're not spending 3 hours discussing all sorts of stuff?
Absolutely, it's very concise. It's like, what do we need to know? So it's a need to know. It's not a walk in the park. Let's chat.
Let's just chat about
everything.
everything.
It's very succinct. It's like, what do I need to know? It might be, for example, it could be concerns with maybe the performance of a particular team member that maybe several doctors work with. Okay, let's get feedback from whoever works with this person. What's the information we need to know? Have you had the same experience? Let's talk about it. Could be concerns maybe with a patient, or if you're a specialist, referring doctor.
Right.
How do we work? Because we want to resolve things before it becomes an issue, before we lose a patient or referring doctor or have problems with a team member.
This is an incredible technique because obviously we say this is important to meet, but having this we approach instead of me approach, right? It's better to it gets everybody involved as a team, and everybody feels important enough, because maybe one person in the organization is really good at HR, but somebody else is good at finance, and everybody can take on those different leadership roles and become the we team. So everybody gets the same message, including the patients.
Absolutely. And the other part that really is helpful is when you take it where people aren't interrupting you as the doctor all day long.
Sure.
You're actually more productive because you're not taking time out of your day for that. They're taking it to the one port of entry. So ideally it would be a practice administrator or someone who is not a provider,
sure,
where they have the time then to take in that information, so it's not taken away from provider time. Otherwise, what happens is you have a doctor coming out of the operatory,
right,
and there's 4 people lined up saying,
right,
doctor, doctor, doctor,
right,
and they're saying yes, no, maybe,
yeah,
and don't even know what they're agreeing to,
exactly,
just to get them out of the way.
A tremendous kind of inefficiency gets created because everybody's
Absolutely.
doing the same thing.
Absolutely.
Great discussion. I think all our practices should think about doing these we teams and getting aligned, and that's the first step in alignment, because
Absolutely.
that really helps solve problems proactively. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
You.
Thank you.